So, welcome back. Last time we met, we started working on a song, this video here. And we got the first part done. We didn't quite get to the bridge. And I thought for fun I would upload it to a popular channel where they do mix reviews and just see what they say about the initial mix. And here it is. Let's take a look.
Like him. Anyway, here we go. Brian Mix, don't be a wank. Here we go. Ooh, this one needs some work. Snare is really thin.
Out in the field, many generations past.
Little compression on the vocals would work here.
Fading fast. These days, though, many carry his name. All of his consumption.
All right, so there you have it. So that was Spectre Sound Studios. They do on Monday, sometimes Sunday, sometimes other days of the week, he does mix reviews. And it's super handy. You know, he gives some commentary on his experience and how to bring out some of the things in your mix. It is a very metal-heavy channel, so they tend to, you know, kind of be more geared towards helping with production of metal. And I'll put a link in the description to the channel just if you want to go check it out and give him some support, and maybe even send him a mix review. He spoke of vocal compression, which is, you know, in the last video, you know, I spoke about compression and I did compress the vocals, but I think my mic and my compressor and everything is set up more for the style of music that I've been doing, which has a little bit softer vocal because I'm getting old, you know, and don't feel like screaming all the time. But I did have some microphone distortion and clipping going on because of the way that I was set up, and I think it's thinned out the vocals a little bit in the mix, and I need to do some slight adjustments to that. He spoke of the snare being thin, which of course it's fruity, so I can go in and maybe tweak the snare a little bit in fruity and just see if I can get a little more out. But I think also adjusting the guitar and whatnot is going to help bring that snare out a little bit more as well. One of the interesting things about submitting to this channel is you'll be bookended with other, you know, starving artists, if you will. So on either side of my song on there were other people's submissions, and the loudness war is alive and well. So hearing the mixes on either side, they were really pushed, really compressed, and very loud, and mine came in and kind of had a thin sound, which is not so bad if you're listening to it over the course of a record or something, but hearing it bookended like that really kind of brought out how I have a softer sound. Now, my preference is to have a very retro sound. I prefer that retro, just a little bit of overdrive, not a lot of effects, and not a lot of heavy compression to kind of darken up the tone. I like it to be sort of as natural as possible. Another thing about being on, you know, putting your song out to be reviewed is the commentary from the other people watching. If you're not prepared to have people abuse you, you should probably not get into music. Historically, you know, in the band, I've discovered that for about every one person that likes you, there's about 8 that, you know, range from just total distaste to possibly wanting to kill you. So that's just the way it is in music, and especially in metal music. People tend to get a little more grouchy there. But that's a part of the washboard effect, where if you want to get better, you've got to have that, you know, being dashed upon the rocks, and that will get your stuff cleaned up to where you have something that maybe other people want to hear. In my case, I tend to just make songs for myself, you know. If other people like them, cool. If not, whatever. Call me what you want. It doesn't bother me. So, we're going to redo the guitar that we did last time, but this time we're going to actually do so with the half stack instead of with a little Spark amp. Also, I have a bridge addition that I've come up with that I want to add in there, and some additional vocals with the microphone tweaked. And let's just go and see what we can do. Let me show you my guitar cabinet effect. Here's the EQ. This is what it's set to. There's very minimal overdrive. This thing has a tube preamp, and you can see I'm not scalloping out the mids. I'll do that later. I like to get as full a signal initially as possible and do as much post as I possibly can. So here we go. Let's jump in. Let's see what we got.
Out in One of these days when the hormone don't flow, that'll be when these regrets starts to show. They shout in the streets, this ain't a crime, as we write our stories one choice at a time. In the mind of the man who sees his fate so close, reality of importance suddenly grows. This moment seems so small in the breath of time. To squander it on pettiness should be a crime. You mortgage generations carrying your name on temporal expression in life's foolish game. One of these days when the hormone don't flow, that'll be when the regret stops to show. They shout in the streets, this ain't a crime, as we write our stories one choice at a time. When young, if you do not form an anchor, you drift away in your own sea of rancor. You're painting fingers and putting blame, ignorant of your own shame. Fool's words seem so sure and leave less than nothing for the future. Fool's words seem so sure and leave less than nothing for the future. Fool's words seem so sure, leave less than nothing for the future.
Okay, so on the guitar, you can see here I have scalloped the mids a little bit on the rhythm guitar. Now, so, wait a minute, where'd we go? Here we go. Yes, a little bit of scallops, and that's on both channels of the dual blended guitars. Now, on the lead that you just heard in there, I have really boosted the mids. Everything about the EQ on the amp was the same. I just simply boosted the mids. You can see I scalloped them a bit out in the rhythm, and then boosted them in the lead guitar. Now, the lead guitar that was in there is just a placeholder because I have a friend in California, Mark Arudia, who's going to be laying a just super metal lead on there. I'm hoping to get that soon. He's been working through. I've asked him to do some crazy dive bombs and pinch harmonics and whatnot. So it's going to be fun once he gets that done, and we'll blend that guy into the mix. It'll be exciting. All right, for the 3 remaining people that have made it this far, let's do a little experiment. I'm going to do a couple of back and forth cuts between the Spark amp and the new one, and let's just get an idea of what it sounds like, the difference between the Spark amp and the half stack. Because I know people complain about the Spark amp, people praise the Spark amp. Let's just see how it compares with all of its effects and all of its emulation with a half stack with just a tube. Let's go.
Out in the field, many generations past, lay a man whose life is fading fast. These days, though many carry his name, all of his concerns are lost the same. Time has a way to
Wow. I wasn't actually expecting such a stark difference. I'd heard these two, but putting them back to back, my God. So I love jamming on the Spark, but I'm never recording the Spark again. God, that's dramatic. Anyway, cool. If you made it this far, doubtful, but if you did, wow. And thanks, and subscribe and stuff, and all the other things. So I'm going to be working with Thomas Decker, if any of you happen to know the guy. See if he can get some drums on here, real drums. Get away from the old fruity fruit. So we'll see. We'll make more videos on that. If you guys want to see drum miking and recording, we'll do it. So just leave a comment, subscribe, interact, let us know. Let me know. Whatever. Anyway, how do you like the song? Is it stupid? Is it cheesy? Let me know. Bye.